Disney is officially f***ed. After fans got fed up with AI Grubhub fraudulent animation, they really just said, screw y'all, and signed a $1 billion deal with OpenAI, handing us all the ability to generate Disney characters and videos with Sora and ChatGPT. Oh shit. This was marketed by their CEO as bringing these leaders and creativity and innovation together. That's funny. Some people hate this change, others are like, yeah, I get it. But I'm here to discuss something invisible. How one manipulative, greedy corporate message may have sent the whole creative industry crumbling. But before we get to that, we need to understand who is this statement even for. This collaboration was announced on Walt Disney's official website, so naturally, this media is for fans who are invested in Disney. Just look at their other blog posts. Camp Rock 3 teaser. What the hell is that? You can tell I don't care about Disney. This audience would interpret this media as a transformative step for Disney's future. Disney's aware of their optimism, and so they wrote with their fans' bias in mind to easily coerce them into negotiating an all is normal and good takeaway. Like, take this text. Bringing leaders and creativity and innovation together to unlock new possibilities in imaginative storytelling. This is the most flowery, fucking sunshine and rainbows corporate statement I've ever seen. And it works because you like Snow White. Congrats, you can generate her sleeping in your bed. The purpose is to hypnotize fans with magical words into giving them your full, unquestioned support, like a cult. This is a big problem we'll come back to later. Alternatively, to absolutely no one's surprise, this is also a fucking cash grab. This statement targets current investors to reassure them of their plans, but also to fish in new investors. Y'all can't convince me that this $1 billion equity investment in OpenAI and receive warrants to purchase additional equity line is supposed to resonate with your average Joe. This thing is also littered with legal and liability reassurance as they lay out awfully detailed financial plans. For such a pivotal change, you'll want investors, and investors will want their money back. An alternative reading is that this media is marketing to them that this leap is not only an innovative cash cow, but also a long-lasting one that muffles backlash and legal repercussions. Fans, greedy old men, whoever this OpenAI licensing is truly meant to influence, the purpose is unfortunately the same. Fabricate a narrative as one-directional as possible to gain our full support of Disney using AI to cut corners. This is a big problem. In this update, Disney, of course, didn't bother asking for the perspectives of the artists, the creative team, any stakeholders, not even the general public. Not a single damn quote or interview. But guess who they did ask instead? The freaking old, rich, out-of-touch CEOs of Disney and OpenAI. AI and creative leaders can work together responsibly to respect the importance of creativity while respecting and protecting creators and their works. Man, shut your dumbass mouth. Y'all have no clue how to even hold a pencil. So we have Disney constructing an unchallenged narrative for an audience with a preconceived bias and or a money fetish. They want to generate an overwhelming positive reaction in their fan base because not being nailed to the cross for using AI is a huge win for them. They reduce production times, they can lay off more artists, they want to essentially pump out a movie a month. That's their motive. But what about us? Critics, journalists, people trying to sniff out the corporate finesse. How is the narrative still lopsided? That would be true if we were the target audience. We rely on Disney's statement as our primary source, and so it becomes our reference point for facts. But the facts are all beyond positive. Not to mention contradictory data and details they can literally just not include. Anything missing we interpret as false and inherently look over. Like when they say that AI serves as creative enablers, that could be complete BS and none of us would know. On top of that, when we quote their article, we will perpetuate their optimism, verbiage, and bias in some way. The reality of this licensing deal is a carefully constructed facade that makes it extremely challenging for anyone, fan, investor, critic, to read against the messages regardless of viewpoint. They made this text to bring about social change that accepts the use of AI in animation for their own competitive edge in the industry. Okay, great, so they're feeding everyone sunshine and rainbows to make more money. So what? Why am I still trying to grill their CEO for this? Well, because there's a concept coined by American sociologist Diane Vaughan called the normalization of deviance. So when deviance from proper behavior becomes culturally normalized, a drift that, quote, happens through a series of temporary shortcuts that quietly becomes the new baseline. Over time, the guardrails loosen so much to the point where catastrophes are too far gone. To illustrate this, let's take a look at the OceanGate disaster. Have y'all seen this on Netflix? Great show. Basically, CEO Stockton Rush of OceanGate promised that his company will soon be able to bring customers down to the ruins of the Titanic. And his submersible, the Titan, was actually able to reach that depth several times. But it wasn't perfect. Their testing frequently showed signs of failure to withstand the pressure. But Rush, driven by hype, expectations, and the competitive market, normalized the flaws and mishaps of the Titan and made it the norm despite frequent occurrences. Because several dives to the Titanic were successful, immediate consequences were not prevalent, which blinded him into lowering the safety standards and silencing other experts who tried to warn him. Sound familiar? His pridefulness and desire for competitive success, quote, outweigh the incentives for foundational security, resulting in the death of 5 people, including himself, on the 18th of June 2023. I fear Disney is making the same exact mistake. In pursuit of profit, Disney's update post is constructing a facade aimed at normalizing AI in our culture by using optimistic language, by allowing audiences to interact with AI, and by silencing opinions of stakeholders. In fact, they're on the offense, shaming anyone who objects, saying, "You can't do anything about it." Again, back to this idea of making it as challenging as possible for anyone to read against the narrative. If they're already using AI to reduce production costs in movies like Elio, who knows how low the guardrails will be in a couple of years. Like OceanGate, Disney's attempt at invisibly forcing people into a one-sided narrative is a problem because they're not giving us the medium to pose legitimate questions. As such, I don't know if this OpenAI deal is good or bad, but I just hope that they double down and interview the actual artists, be more transparent, and actually address our concerns directly. Their influence needs to be visible so that all of us can read against the narrative to prevent catastrophes within the art community before they become ingrained in society.